Forget Columbus, forget Marco Polo. Before them all, there was one man whose journey was so epic, it redefined what it meant to see the world. His name was Ibn Battuta, and his story is one of the greatest travelogues ever written. Get ready to explore the 14th century like never before. Born in 1304 in Tangier, Morocco, Ibn Battuta was a scholar and a jurist. At just 21 years old, he set off on a journey that he thought would be a simple pilgrimage to Mecca, the Hajj. He told his family goodbye, expecting to be gone for a couple of years. He wouldn't return home for nearly 30 years. Over that time, he covered more than 75,000 miles, a distance that no single person would surpass until the age of steam-powered travel. He visited the equivalent of 40 modern-day countries, crossing North Africa, the Middle East, East and West Africa, Southern and Eastern Europe, Central Asia, the Indian subcontinent, and China. He saw more of the world than anyone else alive. So how did he do it? In the 14th century, the Islamic world, or Dar al-Islam, was a vast, interconnected network. From Morocco to China, a traveler could find common language, laws, and customs. This network was fueled by trade routes, both on land and sea, creating a globalized world long before we used that term. As a respected Islamic scholar, Ibn Battuta could travel from city to city, often finding hospitality with fellow Muslims, securing jobs, and receiving protection from local rulers. His first journey took him across North Africa. He joined caravans to protect himself from bandits, traveled through Egypt, marveling at the pyramids and the bustling city of Cairo, which he called Mother of Cities. He then sailed down the Red Sea, eventually reaching Mecca to complete his pilgrimage. But for Ibn Battuta, this wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. The travel bug had bitten him, and it bit him hard. Instead of heading home, he ventured into the vast Persian Empire, exploring what is modern-day Iraq and Iran. He saw the ruins of once mighty cities and met with powerful rulers. From there, his wanderlust took him south along the Swahili coast of Africa. He visited cities like Mogadishu and Kilwa, describing them as beautiful and well-constructed. He was amazed by the wealth of these trading hubs, which were deeply connected to the Indian Ocean trade network, dealing in gold, ivory, and spices. But perhaps his most ambitious journey was yet to come. Hearing of the legendary generosity of the Sultan of Delhi in India, Ibn Battuta decided to try his luck there. Getting to India was an adventure in itself. He traveled through Anatolia, modern-day Turkey, and then crossed the treacherous steppes of Central Asia. He even joined the caravan of a Byzantine princess, which took him all the way to Constantinople. He was one of the few Muslim travelers of his time to document the great Christian city, describing the magnificent Hagia Sophia. After this detour, he finally continued towards India. Crossing the Hindu Kush mountains, a journey so harsh, his companions used felt to cover their faces from the blinding snow. When he finally arrived in Delhi, his reputation as a scholar preceded him. The Sultan, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, known for his eccentric brilliance and brutal temper, appointed Ibn Battuta as a qadi, or a judge. He spent several years in the Sultan's court, living a life of luxury and privilege, but it was also a life of constant danger. The Sultan was notoriously unpredictable, and Ibn Battuta saw many officials fall from grace, often with fatal consequences. He himself fell under suspicion and was placed under house arrest, living in fear for his life. He survived by devoting himself to prayer and fasting until the Sultan's anger subsided. Eventually, the Sultan decided to send Ibn Battuta on a diplomatic mission to the Yuan court of the Mongol emperor in China. This was his ticket out. The journey was his most perilous yet. His traveling party was attacked by rebels. He was robbed and nearly lost his life. Then, the fleet of ships carrying the embassy's gifts to China was destroyed in a powerful storm off the coast of India. Ibn Battuta survived, but he had lost everything. Instead of giving up, he pushed on. He traveled to the Maldives, a string of beautiful coral islands in the Indian Ocean. Here his legal expertise was once again in demand, and he was made a chief judge. He married into the local ruling family and tried to impose stricter Islamic law, but his reforms clashed with the island's relaxed customs, and he was forced to leave. His travels then took him to Sri Lanka, where he climbed the sacred Adam's Peak. He then sailed onwards, finally reaching the shores of China. He described the vast, bustling port cities and was amazed by the craftsmanship and organization of the Chinese people, though he felt like an outsider in a land where Islamic culture was not dominant. After 3 decades on the road, Ibn Battuta finally decided it was time to go home. He journeyed back, only to find that his parents had passed away during his long absence. But even then, his travels weren't quite over. He made one last major trip, this time crossing the Sahara Desert to visit the legendary Mali Empire in West Africa, one of the wealthiest empires in the world at the time, famous for its vast reserves of gold. He met its powerful ruler Mansa Suleiman, and documented the empire's wealth and unique traditions. Finally, in 1354, Ibn Battuta returned to Morocco for good. The Sultan of Morocco, intrigued by his stories, commanded him to dictate his experiences to a scribe. The result was the book we know today as the Rihla, which simply means the journey. This incredible document is more than just a travelogue. It's a priceless window into the political, social, and cultural life of the 14th century world, from the perspective of a single, endlessly curious man. Ibn Battuta's story is a powerful reminder that the desire to explore, to connect, and to understand different cultures is a timeless human impulse. He wasn't an explorer backed by a king or a merchant seeking profit. He was a scholar, driven by curiosity and faith, who used the interconnected networks of his time to achieve the seemingly impossible. His journey shows us a medieval world that was far more global and connected than we often imagine. So next time you think of the great explorers, remember the man from Tangier, Ibn Battuta, the true greatest traveler of his time. Thanks for joining us on this journey through history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories about incredible historical figures and moments. See you next time.